We are back with 3 tips for the Wa, for the boys of the Wa. 3 tips to get better with them. The first one is Night Goblin War Boss. He has 2 very powerful abilities, Fermented Fungi and Tormentor's Sword. And something I see too often is people getting a little too excited. So we're going to pop Fermented Fungi on both of these Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, taking Skirmish Cav that want to avoid an engagement at all costs, and making them run straight into my elite armor-piercing heavy cav of the Broken Tusk mob. Now the problem I often see is with this top one. People sometimes get a little overzealous, and they also throw down Tormentor's Sword. So during 7 more seconds of Rampage, where they can't opt out of this fight if they wanted to, you also are losing your 7 seconds of netting them with the Tormentor's Sword. So not only can they not move, they also can't move, and that is kind of pointless. So over down here is the much better option of, now that they could disengage to 1, you hold your Tormentor's Sword, and the AI is weird and it's just annoying. And you, again, I know your comment's gonna be like, get some players to help you with it. Yeah, but I have to do 24 factions so 24 videos, 3 tips a piece. That is a lot of time and negotiating to get players to do this when the AI should just be smarter. But anyway, so over here, these guys are allowed to disengage and you can't stop them. Now, for some reason, they're just engaging in a different fight instead of trying to kite away. I don't know why, but these ones got hit with a Tormentor Sword and now they can disengage. So these guys disengaged, got to an entirely different fight and rear charge my other units. These guys, overlapping the Tormentor Sword, could now start to disengage, and you can see the health difference in them. 3,200 for that one, 1,900 in the duration of the net, because I made the net 7 seconds longer. So 15 seconds. Ooh, 9 seconds longer. Yeah, even better. Anyway, don't overlap your net timings. Rampage is also a net. They're not going anywhere, so Tormentor Sword doesn't do anything for you, right? And I know it applies minus 24 melee attack, but just trust me. You have 7 seconds, or 9 seconds. I'm stuck on 7. You have 9 seconds of minus 24 melee attack no matter what. They might as well get the use out of the net as well, right? There's no reason not to. If they're going to stay in the fight anyway, then it doesn't matter. If you netted them or not, they were not going to run away. Sure, then it doesn't matter. You still get your 9 seconds of minus 24 melee attack. But you remove the option of them opting out of that fight. Or you give yourself the option of reconsidering what you just did. You rampage them in. Let's say you rampage in the Knights of the Brazen Throne, and they are kicking the crap out of your Orc Boar Boy Biggins. You're like, never mind, this is going really bad. Net them and run. And then you disengage from a bad fight or whatever. But if you overlapped that net on top of your rampage, you took that option away from yourself. And just, I don't see any benefit to it. So avoid doing that. Stagger them one at a time. Second mistake is actually much more common. Night Goblin Fanatics are incredible units. They are amazing. They have this awesome spinning loons thing. But one mistake I often see is people do not realize the spinning loons movement speed is less than the Night Goblin's movement speed. So sometimes they'll try and cast it on the charge. Like as soon as you're in range, you'll throw it out ahead of your guys. I don't want to fast forward because I don't want to miss it. But it is much better to wait until you're already in combat and throw it, because here, you can see they actually cause a bunch of disruption in your own lines and damage your guys and spin off into the distance. So significantly less damage. They did about 700 damage to these guys. Instead of just waiting and casting them at a slight angle sideways, you can hit your neighboring unit and get a bit of damage out for them, but also you can do 2,000, 3,000-ish, 2,000 damage on your own. So more damage on the enemy, less damage on you, more controlled. Wait until your Night Goblins hit the enemy front line before throwing out the loons. Save yourself the issue. Third mistake here for the Greenskins is, I would honestly argue in campaign as well, spending a skill point on Madcap Mushrooms is pointless. But in multiplayer, you have to pay 150 gold for Madcap Mushrooms, and it is the worst ability in the game. I think it's actively hurtful, and you have to pay money for it to be actively hurtful. Decrease your cooldowns by 30 seconds. But it's on the lore of Little Wa, which has insanely low cooldowns in the first place. 29 seconds, 28 seconds, 25 seconds. Wait, sorry. 43 seconds, 44 seconds. There we go. 47 seconds and 48 seconds. So yes, you could get a double cast out, sure, but I'm trying to say that these spells don't have incredibly long cast times anyway. But you pay 150 gold for that. you have a miscast chance. You'll do damage to your already low health little caster guy. And then it has a 90-second cooldown. But here's the thing. It doesn't have a 90-second cooldown. It has an 140-second cooldown because it has a duration. And you might be like, well, that's really weird. Oh, that's OP. Hold on. So and I'm doing a bit. I know what it does. But hold on. So for 50 seconds, you get decreased cooldowns of 30 seconds. That means for 50 seconds, you can just cast spells like crazy. That's awesome. Nah, dude. That ain't how it works for some reason. So let's cast a quick spell. Bam. Madcap mushrooms. Don't damage myself. Nice. Let's cast another spell. But why is it on a 50-second duration? It's not giving me 30 seconds cooldown every second. That would be OP, sure, like that'd be amazing, but like, no, it's just not coded correctly. It has a duration on a single one-time use thing. Like as soon as you pop it, you get your minus 30 seconds of cooldown. But then there's 50 seconds of duration, quote unquote, that does nothing. And then when it finally ticks up, it goes on a 90-second cooldown. So you're paying 150 gold for 140-second cooldown, 25% chance to do significant damage to yourself, all to get a double cast of something once or twice. It's pretty insane when you could just sit here and freaking cast these things because they have a 30-second cooldown on their own. And like your night goblins don't have the best winds of magic generation regardless. So it's not like you're actually getting that far ahead of your own winds of magic with all this cooldown reduction stuff. Like you can still cast them at about the speed you can generate the winds of magic. So all you're going to do if you do this is just get ahead of yourself, and now you have to wait to get your winds of magic so you can keep casting. So you're stuck waiting anyway. You're going to be winds of magic capped, you're going to be cooldown capped. Doesn't matter. There we go. And now we have a very long wait time as we wait for our winds of magic. So again, no matter what you do with your cooldown shenanigans, your winds of magic is going to end up being more of a problem than your actual cooldown. And this just has the chance of hurting you. And an insanely long cooldown because of a useless duration. Wow, I got 3 madcaps in a row though. Feeling pretty lucky. Didn't damage myself at all. All right. I'll keep casting it till I get some damage on myself, but I'll edit forward until we see the damage. Let's see you dodge this, you little punk. There we go. So that was pretty unlucky, actually. Half of them got the miscast, but when he miscasts, this one took about 400 health. 400, 400, 400, 400, yeah. So if it miscasts, you're taking 400 health off of a guy with only 3,400, which is approximately 1/8 of their HP. Which isn't huge, but for all the other problems I already mentioned, it's just not worth paying money, potentially doing 1/8 of your HP, having an 140-second cooldown, all to spam out some of the cheapest spells that are already spam-outable in the entire game. Just don't take madcap mushrooms, dude. They're not worth it.
Roar. Subscribe, yes.